everyone, my name is Linya and I am a software developer. I created this game with my colleague Katie Pennachio called Rat City. It's a 2D side-scrolling game built on JavaScript, HTML5 Canvas, and has a light backend built with Rails that is used to just save the top scores. I'm going to do a really quick run-through of the game. You'll notice that partway through, I all of a sudden have a million lives. That is because this game is actually pretty hard to play. I'll probably have to go back and just readjust some of the settings. So in order to get through the game demo, I had to cheat a bit. But that's okay because I created this game. The basic concept of the game is rats have taken over New York City and you are on a mission to defeat all the boss rats. You start off at the Bowling Green subway station and you take the train uptown. You collect pizza as points, crumpled up beer cans as ammunition to throw at the boss rats, and donuts in later levels to clear the obstacles that come your way. There are hearts scattered throughout the levels to give you extra lives. At the same time, you avoid the rats and maybe other flying things that come your way. If you hit a rat, you lose a life. Once you reach the subway columns, you've completed the level. So there are 14 levels in total, with 3 boss levels. You use the arrow keys on your keyboard to move left and right, and the up arrow key is used to jump. When you get to a boss level, you can then use the space key to throw your beer cans at the boss rats. Making sure you collect enough beer cans is important because you need to defeat the bosses. As the levels go higher, the number of hits you need to defeat the bosses increase. The animations are rendered in a few ways. All of these objects are drawn onto the HTML5 Canvas element. Some are digitally created using, you'll never believe this, Google Slides. So, for example, all of these level backgrounds were created just using Google Slides. And this taxi cab right here is also drawn using Google Slides. The reason for this was really because at the time we were making this game, we didn't have Illustrator or Photoshop on our laptops. Then the characters that move, like the player, rats, and pigeons, are just frames of GIFs we found online. Then there are some objects that are rendered using only canvas shapes, which are drawn by using X and Y coordinates. The subway that appears at the end of each level is drawn this way. Yes, that was done all in Canvas. I painstakingly drew out each rectangle, each circle, the colors, all of it. The game logic here is actually quite simple. Since this was created in vanilla JavaScript, we have 4 different JavaScript files that allows the game to run. All of the objects were created using object-oriented JavaScript, so we have a class for each of the items, like the subway columns, the player, the rats. This allows us to create the specific movements of each object. So, for example, the rats move at a certain speed, which is faster than the pizzas, which is faster than the background. The rats increase in speed every level, and the player doesn't move on its own, it only moves with the arrow keys, which are just event listeners on the key down. I had a lot of fun creating this game, mostly because as I was making this, I had to play it quite a bit to see how it worked. I also had a lot of fun designing the logic of the game. I'll put the GitHub link in the description below so you can take a look at the code base if you'd like. It's not perfect, but I tried to be incredibly thoughtful of the scalability. It turned out to be quite great actually because once I had designed a level or two, the rest were incredibly easy to create. The most time-consuming element of this was honestly the graphics. Each of the levels I had to, because they were designed using Google Slides, took a really long time finding the images, putting it all together, making sure all the sizes were correct, and making sure that it just looked realistic enough to be believable. So I hope you enjoyed this video. You can play Rat City with the link below in the description, and thank you so much for watching.